Welcome back to 12 Acres. Well, it is a very warm May day. In this video, I just want to show you, I wanted to do a spring garden tour, but there's just not a whole lot growing, but I am going to show you what I've got growing and what my plans are. So that's in this video, as well as some footage and my remarks on the first farmers market day of the season. So that is what this video is about. Thanks for stopping by the farm, and hope you enjoy it. We are loading up for the farmers market. I've got 13 10 by 20 flats of plants loaded in here, believe it or not. I made a makeshift shelf and it's quite secure. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Just set those down right now. I still got to find room for those. Okay, now I think we have everything packed. I had forgot the canopy, so I had to rearrange some of this other stuff in here. But everything should be good now. Looks like, hopefully I didn't forget anything. I've got all my supplies packed up. My signs are up here in the front seat. Will's ready. He'll be coming along tomorrow to help me out. Are you excited to get up so early? Why not? Because too early.
Grows weak, nose bitter, you become your own prison. As you watch yourself sit there wrapped up in a trap, very own machine of sorrow.
Well, the first farmers market of this season went really, really well. It was yesterday, and I was so nervous. I didn't really know what to expect or how much to plan for or prepare for, but I ended up selling about a quarter of the plants that I brought. So altogether, I think I came away with almost $200. So that's not bad, and that's the first day of the season. And there weren't a lot of vendors there, so I know as the season progresses and more vendors are there, it's going to draw more people in too. But I had a lot of really good, positive comments about the plants, that they're looking so good and so healthy. So I was very pleased with it, very pleased and super excited to be continuing on with farmers markets. Something I wanted to show you real quick. My very first flowers have bloomed. I've got this Cosmo and this one that have bloomed. Aren't they beautiful? So excited. And this one's gonna have quite a few on it. So everything's looking really good that I've got planted so far, other than a couple of losses from those late frosts. These are my basils. Some of these look kind of puny, but they need to be watered today too. Huh. Oh, something's been digging. I think we have a mole, because that's all freshly dug up. Yep, gotta water these for sure, and hopefully that mole will leave them alone if it stays wet enough. A couple of things I wanted to mention about the farmers market, since this was my first time going. Something that was very helpful for me was keeping a notebook nearby, or a notepad, and making a note of every single sale that I made. And then on the right margin, I actually made notes of questions that people would ask me, or ask, hey, do you have any of these or any of that? Different things like that I could make a note of, so that I could look into that and maybe think about, growing some of those for future farmers markets. But also things like, questions that they had about the plants that I have. And while I did print out information sheets, I didn't display them because I didn't really think through how to display them, and it was so windy there that just taping a piece of paper up just would have been flapping around, would have been a big mess. So in the future, I want to figure out a different way to display my information sheets. But at least I had them there with me so that I could answer people's questions if I didn't have it in my memory. At least I could look it up on my sheets. A lot of people had questions about the different basil varieties that I sold. Some of my best sellers at the market were my basil varieties. I think I have 7 different varieties of basil, and I only took one flat to the market, and I sold out almost completely of basil. And I do have more for the following weeks, but I had a lot of interest in the different varieties, very excited people to see so many different types. So definitely going to start some more basil and keep going with those, because I think that'll be a good seller all season long, hopefully. Here's another new one. Oh, it's so beautiful. So pretty. They just look so much happier. They're not folding their leaves up like they were because of the stress of the full sun all day long. And look, there's actually some little tiny blossoms getting ready to show. Wow, that's amazing. My little peppers are starting to look better. They had a lot of yellow leaves on them, and then I realized that I needed to be fertilizing, and I wasn't fertilizing anything. Why that didn't dawn on me, I don't know, but everything's starting to look a lot better. I've got some more little cucumbers and tons more tomato varieties, more basil, different flowers growing. Just a lot of things in different stages of growth, and it was getting pretty dead looking, but there's a lot of new growth on them now that are starting to look better. Oh my goodness, look at these snapdragons. Look how amazing these look. I need to get these planted. Oh, they're so beautiful. I've never grown snapdragons before, so I'm so excited about these. Wow, look at that. This is a Polish amaranth. Look at that. The growth on these plants is just phenomenal. My black-eyed Susans getting huge. I've got yarrow and different things over here. Oh my goodness. I have got to get these things planted. Here's some more tomatoes. These better boys are just massive, huge. I may have to up pot these into some maybe quarts or half-gallon size, because they're going to start setting fruit before too long. And then I've got a few tomatoes that I've got planted in the hoop house already. I'll be adding some strings to support them probably before too long. But yeah, they're already starting to get flowers on them too. See that? So everything's doing really good. It looks kind of messy in here. I need to do some mowing and weed eating, but it works. And my tomatoes and cucumbers I've got out here, they're looking great. Everything looks so good. I need to do I'll probably do some hay mulch around these to kind of keep the weeds down. That's what I did last year, and it worked really good. I actually used some old dirty hay that had horse manure mixed in it, and it was great. So I'll probably do that again this year. I've got zucchini right here. I don't think I did any of the yellow squash. I don't believe. Maybe I did. I think I did 2 yellow squash and then 3 zucchini. And then I've got broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower in here. And I couldn't tell you which one was which. I didn't mark them, I don't believe. So once they start setting fruit, we'll know, hopefully. Isaac's garden's doing really good. His watermelon, he's got one that's going really good. The other one's still really small. But his corn is all growing. He was so excited to see that. And he's got, I don't remember if he actually planted sunflowers or if these are just random things that are growing. But he does have some zinnias in here. He never did get around to putting any of his radish seeds in yet, so I need to get onto him for that. But we've got to do mowing and weed eating in here again. Everything's growing so fast right now. since we've had more rain lately. And even just the morning dew is so heavy on everything. I think that kind of waters the ground too. But this is Will's watermelon patch. We've had to replace this one, I think 2 or 3 times now. So I do think there are moles in here. And they're probably digging a tunnel right around his plant. Because we've had to replace that one at least twice. His pumpkins are doing great. Look how big these are. Doing wonderful. And our little apple trees we planted, they're doing good too. I had them sitting out in the full sun, or mostly full sun, and the wind for probably a month. So they should be good and hardened off. So I don't expect to see any kind of shock on them, hopefully. But everything's going good. I've got my sunflowers here, this whole row, and a few more of a different variety in here. The basil is all down there, and a little bit of the amaranth I put down there, a couple plants. This is all cosmos. One of these beds, these new beds here, is going to be my filler plants, such as the yarrow and dara. I haven't exactly decided for sure because I want to look and see. I need to do my research and see which of those plants are going to be perennials, if any of them. See which ones are going to come back, because I want to keep those all together so that I don't accidentally, pull them out. Let's see, marigolds are in this one, and these little holes right here are going to be where my green beans come up, and they are just about ready to come up. So this will be a whole row of bush green beans, and then there's the African or crackerjack marigolds in the center. I will probably do another row of green beans on this side in a week or so. And then of course over here we've got bachelor's buttons and all the zinnias that I planted a while back. And I've got some open space down there. I'm not sure what I'll put down there yet. Goodness knows I have plenty of things to plant. Now I still have to plant out all my snapdragons, so I've got to figure out which of these spots they're going to go in. So I have a lot of work to do. But before I can actually start planting all those things, I have to do my research. And I have to figure out the height of all these different plants, because even though I've written these things down before and I've made notes of all this stuff, I can't find my stuff. I can't find my notes. Everything gets lost. So I need to look all this stuff up again, make sure that nothing is going to be shading out other things, or if something does need shade, that it does get planted by something that will shade it out. So lots of research to do, again, with the perennials too. I want to make sure that I put anything that's going to come back next year in one designated spot so that it can come back. I also want to get my perennial garden in. Over there where the little baby ducks are is where my official gate entryway into this garden is going to be, and I'm going to do perennial flowers on either side of that and make a little like an entryway, maybe a garden path, something really pretty. And eventually I want to have like a bench or something nice out here to sit on, and I just have so many dreams and plans and hopes for this. It's going to be so beautiful eventually, but all these things take time. So, but we'll get there, and I am so excited to just be hopeful, to be planning, and to have these dreams, because that's what makes every single day exciting to me. Hi guys. Hi Maggie. See Maggie? Oh, it is so beautiful out here.